In today's Let's Talk, we find out whether AO-DRM is really a good thing and just why people focus on putting it in games nowadays. I'm Dark3, let's get on with the show. Let's talk. Let's talk. Let's talk. Let's talk. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Let's Talk. You notice things look a little bit more professional, but I'll get into that in a future update. Right now we're here to discuss AO-DRM and just what its purpose is. AO-DRM, otherwise known as Always Online Digital Rights Management, is a form of authentication that requires you to always be connected to the internet in order to play. A lot of games need to be registered online nowadays, and this is an attempt to curb piracy, but in general this registration only requires you to be connected while registering. If it's a single player game, you're all well and good to play regardless of your internet status. AO-DRM is an evolution of this, but instead of needing a one-time connection, it actually requires you to be constantly connected to the developer's servers. This may not seem like much of a problem, but time and time again this has proven to be detrimental to the consumer. The most recent game to suffer from the curse that is AO-DRM is SimCity, a game developed by Maxis and published by EA. For the past week, thousands of people have been unable to play a game that is traditionally single player, all because EA servers haven't been able to cope. You'll notice in the video playing behind this as an almost permanent message stating that there's no server connection, and without this DRM we'd all be happily playing a game that we've been waiting for. Instead we're stuck waiting around for EA to fix it. It's got so bad that various people have started asking for a refund, after an EA press release stated that you can actually contact them regarding one. The problem here is that EA's standpoint is, if you bought a digital version through their distribution system Origin, then you've actually forfeited any and all right to a refund. From a legal standpoint, and I should probably point out that I am far from a lawyer, but EA has failed to provide a service or product that the consumer has paid for, and that in any other area of retail would entitle them to a refund. Instead, we see conversation logs between the consumer and EA support ending with EA either threatening to ban their account if they choose to get their refund through PayPal or their bank, or just constantly stating that they cannot actually give refunds. This AO-DRM issue isn't a new thing either. Last year Diablo 3 came out also with AO-DRM, and what happened? This exact same scenario played out. People couldn't play a single player without a connection, and the servers just couldn't cope. There's also a lag and rubber banding on a single player game due to a lot of the game data being stored server side. A better idea would be to make you select whether a character is going to be multiplayer or single player, then store single player data locally and multiplayer data on the servers. Anno 2070, a game published by Ubisoft, actually had its AO-DRM removed after the public outcry after their servers just up and died. Now it's fine, but if you have a game through Steam you end up loading Uplay then loading the game, but that's another discussion topic entirely. AO-DRM has proven time and time again that it's just not a sensible option. As with all DRM, it punishes those that actually purchase the game, causing a major hassle to even start it. AO-DRM has the added problem that if you're flying over the Atlantic or serving in a military force in Iraq or Afghanistan, you're not going to be able to play the game you want to. Or in 5 or 6 years time as an extreme option, what's going to happen when the servers get switched off? Are we going to see a DRM-free version, or are we going to see end up with a game that's actually completely unplayable? I've got my money on we're not actually going to get a playable version. I don't see that happening. Now it's completely understandable that these games are put in place to try and kill off piracy, but what developers and publishers need to remember is that a pirated copy of the game does not necessarily equal a lost sale. In some cases a pirated game can actually equal a sale if the pirate, I use that term loosely here, deems it good enough to support the developer. There have been cases of people pirating games and sending $30 or something thereabout straight to the developer just to avoid the middleman. Even though we're constantly seeing that AO-DRM isn't the best way of going about it, I honestly don't think publishers are going to take the heed of the warnings. While people keep purchasing games with AO-DRM, it's going to keep being used. No matter how much you dislike it, no matter how much you threaten to boycott the games, and no matter how much you think that the person that came out of it can go f***. Thank you all for watching. I've been Dark3, and I thank DarkPython for actually recording the footage I used in the background here, because I actually own those games, so you should totally go and subscribe to him as well. Thanks for watching, see you again very soon.